Hello, hello, hello. I am Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Hello, hello, hello. I am Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Now today I've got an episode of Phase 1 for you guys. On this episode, we are getting into the singer, songwriter, rapper, and producer, Fridayy. Fridayy has come out swinging with such major features and placement. I'm thinking he's going to be around for a minute. So let's take a look at Phase 1 for Fridayy. Now, ironically, I was put onto Fridayy thanks to DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled dropped an album last year, which I told y'all was not my favorite, but one of the standout tracks was obviously the title track, God Did. Now, when I first heard the song, I originally thought that Fridayy's portion was a sample of some other song that I probably never heard of. But throughout the rollout and promo of God Did, I heard DJ Khaled shout out Fridayy, and I was like, okay, let me go take a look. Now, before we get into talking about Fridayy's music, we should probably learn a little bit about him. Well, Fridayy was born and raised in Philly, and I'm starting to think that you honestly cannot come from Philly without knowing a little bit of something about music. He grew up in church learning to play many instruments from piano to bass to trumpet. His father was a pastor and definitely encouraged his exploration into musicianship, but he wasn't too fond of him taking a secular route. From the age of 13, Fridayy was writing and recording his own music and sharing it amongst his friends. Over the years, he was dropping single after single, but he wasn't really seeing much success, more than maybe like 1,000 streams or plays. So he decided to take a break and just focus on production. In his mind, he knew his music was great, but in his own words, he wanted to take the time to attain the proper backing so that his music would actually be heard and not fall on deaf ears, which obviously worked. He secured his first publishing deal in 2020, and he locked in placements with Lil Baby, Chris Brown, and of course, as I mentioned before, DJ Khaled. As a newer artist, I am always looking to see what makes them different and wondering if the artist has actually tapped into it themselves. To me, Fridayy has a very special ability to play with melody in the way of like a Ty Dolla $ign, and that's most likely due to his long history as a musician. But one spin I think that really makes Fridayy's version special is that it seems a little bit more grungy, more urban, and alternative in a way. As a producer, he's able to create his own beats that are custom fit to his specific voice. And another thing about Fridayy is he's forward thinking, as many independent artists should be, taking notes from the mainstream and applying them to themselves and seeing how they could be 2 steps ahead. Doing my research, I found out that Fridayy actually got that God Did placement being forward thinking. He saw DJ Khaled on Instagram consistently doing what DJ Khaled does. When he's on a wave and he's starting the process of a new album, he has his phrase. With this album, obviously, it was God Did. Fridayy and his team took it upon themselves. It's like, we should do something with this. He created the demo for God Did and found a way to get it to DJ Khaled. Originally, that song was just supposed to be an interlude with him standing alone. But DJ Khaled being DJ Khaled, he loved what Fridayy did and wanted to make it a movie, in his words. And the song became what we know it now. DJ Khaled added some of the biggest artists in our culture today, from John Legend to Rick Ross, and of course the GOATs, Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. Now, a few things I really love about Fridayy's artistry is his tone of voice. His voice is very dark and grungy, but it's not in an unapproachable way. I guess you could say it's akin to Giveon, but it's a lot more urban in the way that Fridayy one presents and packages his songs and produces his song. And of course, if you've been around the Nikole channel, you already know how spirituality plays in my life, and I love when it plays into the lyrics and the storytelling of an artist's body of work. Fridayy's inclination to fuse spirituality with his own experiences and telling his stories and his journey into his artistry is something that is refreshing. I feel like with his debut EP, Lost in Melody, he truly lets people into his world of him being a starving artist and how the journey has been for him. And how he's leaned into his spirituality to carry him through the journey is what I really took away from that project. Now, as a producer, his fusion of gospel, hip-hop, alternative, and R&B, him being a singer, yes, he may present as a rapper, but he absolutely is a singer. It's something that I feel is so special about how he produces his music for himself. I think he was also able to display that in one of my favorite songs from Chris Brown's last album, till the wheels fall off. His music somehow ironically takes on chords that may feel sad and feel emotional and moody, but when you get into the stories of the music, it's actually feel-good music. But I can probably show you better than I can tell you. So we're going to take a minute to react to Fridayy's new freestyle, Calling For You, and the visual. So let's get into it. Okay, Twins Church. I'm a little scared. Oh, she's pretty. That was random. I'm going to need him to explain that visual to me. I'm confused. Overall, the vibe I get from Fridayy is that he's very clear about who he is and his production and when it comes to his music. And he just seems very open to kind of wherever his career wants to take him. I don't know why, and just watching that visual, I was getting Frank Ocean vibes. And y'all know how Frank Ocean is an artist. You know, we consume Frank in bodies of work. And I'm starting to feel like that should be a trend. For some of these artists, I feel like bodies of work give them the space to breathe and to live. Because, I mean, in today's streaming and how music has to be presented for DSPs, like 2.5-minute songs are cool, but not every artist can fit into that small window of time to where it's just play, play, play. Unless, you know, you have the abilities of a Frank Ocean, a Kanye, a Chloe, a Fridayy, who are producers and know how to build a song, hold attention, and leave you wanting more. But yeah, just watching that visual, I'm excited to kind of see how he expands as a visual artist. And expressing himself that way, because I feel like when you listen to the music, you hear the story and get your own picture of kind of like him and his journey. So as he expands and maybe wants to tell different stories that aren't so connected to who he is as an artist or what his personal journeys are, I think it's going to be interesting to watch him tell those stories in the music and visually. Now, Fridayy is signed over there at Def Jam. And they seem to be doing pretty well right now for their artists. I feel like all labels have, you know, had their moments of confusion because, I mean, things happen on the executive level. But Def Jam seems to be pretty steady. They're taking on a lot of some of my favorite artists like Coco Jones and Money Long. So they are definitely investing into the life of R&B. And everybody's very different. So it's going to be interesting to see how Def Jam kind of carries his career out and how they carry him both as a producer and an artist. And speaking of Coco Jones, I really want to see Fridayy kind of pair up with some ladies. I feel like all of his collaborations have been very male-heavy, male-dominated, and I guess it makes sense for the mood and the vibe of his music. But just because I brought up Ty Dolla $ign earlier, I love when Ty Dolla $ign collaborates with the likes of Kehlani and other artists like that. So I would love to see Fridayy paired up with a Kehlani, with a SZA, even a Cardi B, just seeing what they could create and how Fridayy would live more so in the female artist space would be very interesting. Also, I feel like his growth as a producer is going to be very nice to watch. He seems to be very inspired by both Khaled and Kanye, and those are two dynamic producers that have had that have had their grip on our culture for a very long time. So I think it's gonna be amazing to see how he stakes his claim. So, I mean, I'm getting a lot of vibes from a lot of different artists from Fridayy, from Frank Ocean to Ty Dolla $ign to Kanye. And with him being an R&B artist, it's gonna be very interesting to watch him develop. And I'm actually really excited after like living with his project Lost in a Melody, which you guys should obviously go check out. I'm excited to see how he grows and develops, just also understanding his mindset of, you know, how he looks at his position in his career right now. All right, you guys, I am Nikole, and that has been Phase 1 featuring Fridayy. Drop down in the comments below. Let me know, are you guys already familiar with Fridayy? Have you guys tapped into his music? If so, what are some of your favorite songs? And also, what do you guys see for Friday? What kind of vibes does Friday give you guys? And you guys already know what to do here on YouTube. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so you never miss a drop. And remember, you guys can get the full version of this video over on my Patreon when you subscribe for only $3. That is where you get, obviously, the extended version of videos, bonus content, and access to the vlog series More Than K. So I hope to see y'all over there, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.